And here we go. Digital Adel back with another Digital Adel Hoops Beyond the Backboard podcast for you with my co host, Matt Hanifan. How are you doing today, Matt?
Doing good. How about yourself?
Man, I am doing fantastic. My head is spinning. I see what you mean, man, when you talk about how much stuff you do and you have all these networks that you work for. I only have this podcast and OnSI, Sports Illustrated, to write for. You've got all kind. I can't imagine what's going through your head.
Nothing's going through my head. My head is a blank, empty space.
It's a blank canvas, people.
Yeah,
Matt
Hanifan. I got smooth brain, like 83% of the time.
That is a reference to Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Smooth brain. That's right. Yeah. But that's also a great show, by the way. I love that show. Always Sunny. But we got a lot to talk about, man. It's a jam-packed show. I know you're super busy. We're going to try to get out here on time. Let me just send this out on social media that we are live, and then we will get started. But before I do that, for those that don't know, Matt Hanifan and myself, we both write for Sports Illustrated's website, OnSI. And we have some articles we want to talk about. I wrote some articles. Matt wrote some articles. So we're going to start with Matt Hanifan. Tell the people what you've put out recently. And we have the link to these articles in the description down below.
I mean, most of what I do is on the Orlando Magic OnSI page. Most recent one's Desmond Bane. He became the third player since Tracy McGrady, or he became the first player since Tracy McGrady. I believe the third ever to have 3 35-point games in a 6-game span. So I wrote a little bit about that. A lot of what I do is takeaways. So like takeaways after each Magic game. I'll have columns in there every once in a while too. But yeah, man, it's been a lot of fun. So, and welcome aboard. I don't think I've told you that, at least on air yet.
Hey man, I appreciate it. Thanks. I'm happy to be a part of it. I get to do what I love, which is the NBA draft angle for these teams. And for Matt Hanifan, he covers the Orlando Magic. I cover them too for the draft angle. They don't really have any picks, thanks Desmond Bane.
Yeah, they don't have a pick.
So I won't really be talking much about them unless some trades happen or things happen like that. I'll probably talk about some undrafteds, later in the summer when the content gets low after the draft. But I'll be covering also the Indiana Pacers, the Milwaukee Bucks, the Miami Heat, and the Memphis Grizzlies, in addition to the Orlando Magic, all for NBA draft stuff. So if you want NBA draft content and you love those teams as well, check me out on SI. Check Matt Hanifan out on SI for the Orlando Magic. Also, we really appreciate all the support. Just looking back of where this thing started to where we've grown to is just kind of surreal. And in the grand scheme of things, man, it's growing. And I don't take opportunities lightly. I never have in life. I've made mistakes in life, but I've never taken opportunities lightly. Like, when I interned with the Pittsburgh Steelers, that was a huge deal for me way back in the day. I never took that lightly. Cherish those relationships, those times. Same thing with writing these articles, just being able to get, my opinion out there and how I view these prospects and their situations. Like I put out this Giannis Antetokounmpo article for the Milwaukee Bucks recently. It's the Bucks trading Giannis could give them the future he trusted them to build. I think it's just very ironic that he's always wanted an accelerated rebuild. He never got one. Dame Lillard, old at that point, blew out an Achilles. And them trading him could give a haul of picks for a loaded 2026 NBA draft class. I think they could get some studs out of that class. So that was a very interesting topic for me to write about. And I really liked it. Anything new other than Desmond Bane breaking that record from the Orlando Magic side?
I mean, they made the Emirates Cup semifinals. They will be playing the New York Knicks on Saturday.
Who'd they beat? Who'd they beat?
The Miami Heat.
Oh, that's right. That stings. Yeah. That stings.
They're now 3-0 against the Heat this year, the first time since 2018-19 that they've won the season series against the Heat. Also the first time that they've won 3 games in a single season against the Heat. They will be playing the Heat 5 times this season for like the first time in over 3 decades, because of this, scheduling thing where they already were scheduled to play them 4 times, and then this little wrinkle added on to it, plus twice in the preseason because they played internationally. One of those games. And so 7 total times that the Miami Heat and Orlando Magic will be playing each other this season. Obviously, only 5 of which count.
Right.
But just a very interesting, I don't even want to call it a subplot, just feat of this season.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, Franz Wagner, he got injured since we last recorded. He got injured on Sunday against the Knicks, who they will be playing on Saturday. It was just kind of an unfortunate, like he accidentally, Anthony Black threw a lob to him. He came down like awkwardly.
Wait. Is this Anthony Black's fault?
No.
I'm just kidding.
It was just a weird, like, he just landed badly.
It looked horrible, man.
Diagnosed like a high ankle sprain. It did not look like he was grabbing his ankle. So
no,
they kind of dodged a bullet there with that.
Definitely.
But he'll be out 2 to 4 weeks, and so like it's kind of ironic. Something else that I wrote for the OnSI site that you should write now. December 7th. A date that just isn't kind to Franz Wagner. He's been injured. He got injured on December 7th, or at least a diagnosis on December 7th, 2 consecutive seasons.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, last year he had the oblique injury. And then this year, obviously, a high ankle sprain. 1 game after Paulo Banchero returned.
Also, Matt Hanifan, very good German pronunciation. 5 stars.
Yeah, nothing will make up for Thomas Huff,
which we're going to talk about today.
Thomas Haug. But yes,
awesome.
Not a kind day for Franz Wagner.
No, not good for Franz Wagner. But we're really thrilled to be back, talking to everybody that's going to tune into this, whether it's the podcast where you could download it wherever podcasts are found, or you could like and subscribe and watch us do this live on YouTube. So we're happy to be back and talking about it. We're going to get into our main thing. Our main thing is NBA draft content. That's our channel. That's our bread and butter. And we're going to talk about that right now. So there's a couple of things I have thoughts about. I've been watching a ton of basketball. I said it on the SI announcement podcast I did the other day. It was like 15 minutes, which I think I forgot to upload to the actual podcast feed. So I'll put that up as well. At some point. But yeah, man, I've been watching a ton of basketball. Florida's a very interesting team. It just seems like to me when Xavier Lee is involved and he is getting a lot of on-ball usage, they're a better team.
Are they? This year it's been rough for him.
It's been a rough start, but if you watch that last game they played against, was it Connecticut?
Yeah,
I forget
UConn.
They played UConn. Xavier Lee was phenomenal. Very shifty, getting into the lane, getting out on the break, dropping dimes on people. The biggest thing I feel like for him going up in this step of competition was confidence. He didn't have that normal swagger he played with. And this game, he made a couple of shots early, shook some people, and that confidence went sky high. And when his confidence was sky high and the ball was in his hands, that Florida team looked like they were going to crush UConn. And then what happened was for a large stretch of the game, they stopped giving him the ball and they put him in a corner, and they were having Thomas Haug handle the ball, Boogie Fland, which we're going to talk about as well. And they were dumping it down low to Shinyalu, and I like Shinyalu a lot defensively, but offensively, he is so one-dimensional. I mean, he's going to back you all the way under the basket and then try to just throw a jump hook who has no touch, and it just goes rocketing off of the rim. And it's always going to be with his right hand. So Shin-Lu is tough, and I know they want to play through the post because they have Alex Condon, who still is the softest tough guy I've ever seen. And I don't mean soft in like a mentally soft way or anything like that. He's not strong, dude. He just gets pushed around on a post. And so I found it really funny. One possession, Alex Caravan got switched out on Condon, and Condon went to back him under the basket. I'm like, two of the weakest guys in the entire NCAA trying to defend and back each other down. It was hilarious. Condon won that one because he is a little bit bigger. He's taller, weighs a little bit more. So that was interesting. But what are your thoughts on the University of Florida's draft prospects, Xavier Lee, Haug, and Alex Condon?
I mean, I'm genuinely worried about Lee.
Yeah.
Just because it's like,
did you watch the Connecticut game?
I haven't watched that one, no, but like everything else from this season that I've seen from him has been abjectly terrible.
It has been.
And so it's like, if he can do this, if he could completely turn it around in conference play, he will, deserve some benefit of the doubt. I know the Providence game for him, which is also on my to-do list, he was also like not terrible in.
Right.
But like everything else, like, you go from the Arizona game.
Matt's gone. And poof, just like that, he disappeared. Odd.
On both ends of the floor.
Yeah, really odd. You disappeared, Matt. I don't know what happened.
Oh,
but you're back.
I'm back.
Okay. Yeah, you're back.
But anyway, like it's been a rough watch from him, and same thing with Boogie too. Like I've been disappointed with Boogie this season because Boogie was someone that I was very high on last year before the hand injury.
Yeah, before the hand injury, and I'm right there with you.
And obviously, a lot of that was a non-conference play, and like I was anticipating, I was hoping to see some, growth as as a finisher. Like him continuing to be more aggressive offensively. I was very interested to see where the point of attack defense, like how that continued. And then obviously he gets hurt, misses most of the season, doesn't come back until I believe it was the tournament.
Right. Very end, then he sat.
Yeah. And so like and then in this new context with Florida, like I don't know, I've just been a little disappointed. Again, there's still time for him to turn it around. There's still time for Xavier Lee to turn it around. But in Xavier Lee's case, like, he's like, what does he do when he's not making shots? Like, you obviously mentioned the passing, the ball handling, but like, if I'm projecting someone to be an NBA player, I just don't know. Like,
right. Especially because defensively, he's really rough. He's a really rough.
Yeah, like I think there's a limited ceiling there. Like maybe there's some things he can do with the ball in his hands, to create some advantages or whatnot. But even then, like his shooting's been a tire fire. He's shooting 20% from three.
He's a much better shooter than the percentages. He's a much better shooter than that.
I agree, but it hasn't shown up yet.
No, and I agree.
It's like against stiffer competition. That's
right.
That's there's kind of the gray area where like he did it. He was awesome at Princeton.
He was,
but it just hasn't quite shown up yet. I do believe, I am with you though. I do think that'll turn around. But like the finishing, all of that stuff is just I have concerns about Condon. Again, it's the same.
He's a second round pick, isn't he?
Yeah, I'd say late first, early second.
Yeah, I he just screams second round pick to me because there isn't one thing he does really well, and the lack of strength is really worrisome at the next level. I know he can shoot it a little bit, but doesn't shoot it great. I like Haug better than I like Condon.
Oh, way a lot. I like Haug way more than I like Condon.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I don't think they're in the same ballpark in terms of prospect evaluation. I think Haug is way more skilled. He's way more athletic.
He is.
He's more of like he's someone who I have described as like someone who, yeah, he's an older prospect. I think he'll be close to turning 23 on draft night, I believe.
Right.
But he's going to be a guy that I think has the possibility to step in day one and impact an NBA rotation.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I don't see that with Condon. Condon to me screams like a 2A player.
Absolutely. I agree with you. That's why I have him in the second round. I don't have him even late first. Like, I mean, it's still early. Things could change, but he just doesn't look like an NBA starting big.
And I throw late first out there because it's still like what we saw last year, how many players went back because of NIL and whatnot, how that's kind of changed the landscape of things. So it's like it's too early to pinpoint, like,
right,
where these guys are going to fall and like have like a firm conclusion on it. It's just like it's so fluid. We have to wait until May until we really just like figure out where some of these guys may or may not go. And even then, like NBA teams are weird. No one saw Kasper Siakachonis falling outside of no one saw him falling to 20. Like
no, and even the crazy thing about Kasper Siakachonis falling 20, even the GMs that were polled after the draft were like, yeah, that was a mistake. Like immediately after the draft, they were like, well, we made a mistake. Like, the biggest steal of the draft was Kasper Siakachonis falling that far. And of course, the thing about Kasper is everybody knew there was going to be this adjustment period because his handles had to get better at this level. He wasn't going to be able to just catch and go straight. Like that was kind of his thing. That was kind of his thing in college was they ran curls, they ran screens, and he kind of just went straight. And he doesn't have any ball handling left and right crossovers. He didn't have all that. He had a step back jumper, but outside of that, he really didn't have any
that he
moves.
went to relentlessly
all the time. Yeah, all the time. And he has really good size and he has a really good wingspan and big hands. The defensive stuff, he's a much better defender than people was giving him credit for in college. And that showed up in training camp whenever Spo was like, yeah, him and Davion are like our two best defenders. Like, he's basically calling them, they were basically, from the same type of mold defensively. Obviously, Davion's going to be a little bit quicker and a lot faster. But, Xavier Lee, I think he's going to be just fine. I think his confidence, he's starting to get that back. And his true game is going to shine. Boogie Fland, I'm really worried about. Outside of a closer, because he's really good in crunch time and getting buckets. What does he do at the next level? He doesn't really facilitate well. He doesn't run the offense that well. He plays good defense, so that's like a backup two-way type guy. Doesn't shoot the three ball very well. Yeah, that's the question I have. That guy, he's going to go into teens. And Matt Hanifin's gone again. Streamlabs, we may have a problem here. Not sure what is going on. But anyway, as we wait for Matt Hanifin, we are going to talk about the Baylor Bears. This time, we're not going to talk about Cam Carr right off the bat. We're going to talk about Tonde Yesufu. But let's get Matt Hanifin back, and we'll see what we can do. There's Matt Hanifin. Welcome back. And he's gone again. Streamlabs, you're trolling me, right? What is happening, dude?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. This isn't going to work, dude. Streamlabs is trolling. All right. Well, so we are having some technical difficulties with Streamlabs, and for some reason, we cannot get Matt Hanifin back. Not sure why. It's really odd. Let's try this one more time. And he's gone again. All right. Nope, you're gone again. All right, cool. This is terrible radio. We're going to have to do this next time. All right. So that is just very, very odd. Don't know what's going on with Streamlabs. There's Matt Hanifin. Holy crap. It worked this time. He stayed.
There's 8 of you on my screen, or 7 of you.
Dude, I'm
This
gonna have to
is
find a new platform. I really am. I don't understand what's happening with Streamlabs, dude. Um, are we able to continue? Can we finish this show?
Are we still live?
Yeah, dude.
Okay. What were we talking about again?
I was transitioning to the Baylor Bears and talking about Tonde Yesufu.
Okay.
So basically, I wanted to talk about Tonde Yesufu. I think people are overthinking it with Tonde. They're expecting him to be the number one guy on Baylor. Offensively, they want him to be really polished and smooth. And I think a lot of people just overlook the fact that Cam Carr is so good. It's just not going to happen. Like Tonde is going to have to get in where he fits in. And for a guy of his size and athletic ability, he's a two-way player. It's very rare for you to find two-way players with the ceiling that guy has. And I think people are going to overthink it with Tonde. I think he's better and should go higher than I think people are going to really give him credit for. So far earlier in the season, obviously he could dominate March and all that could change.
Yeah.
But with Cam Carr on the team, I doubt offensively he's going to get that kind of publicity. But defensively, he's so switchable. He was getting switched on to point guards. He harasses them, wings, bigs. He does it all, man. What are your thoughts on Tonde Yesufu?
I might be one of those who's worried because it's like all of the stuff on ball, like
Yeah,
it's not his finishing isn't that good. His
right.
3-point shooting isn't that good. I did watch the Memphis game and he was knocking down some shots.
Right.
It also just looks weird coming off the hand, like it's a super like we make the Andrew Wiggins joke about the line drives, like his shot's a line drive.
His shot is a line drive. That is correct. Needs to get a little
I
arc on
think
that
he's
ball.
I think like I don't know the percentages, but I think I'm a little bit concerned about his finishing in the half court versus in transition. Like I'm not
Right.
he's a very athletic player in the open court.
Right.
But when it gets in the half court, when it gets bogged down, when he's, trying to finish over or around some of these other bigs, like I don't think it's been as efficient. And so I think like him trying to get to his spots and then him converting when he gets to those spots is a little bit of a concern for me right now. I'm not worried about all the other stuff, like defensively. I think he's been exceptional. I think the rebounding, especially offensive rebounding, like that's one thing I really like about his game is that he's a very effective offensive rebounder.
For sure.
And he'll get you extra bites at the apple, but
Okay, that's it, Streamlabs. We're done. I can't do this anymore. Dude, this is so bad. All right, so we've lost Matt Hanifan. As Matt was saying, Tonde Yesufu's jump shot needs a little bit of work, right? It's a flat shot, and he's working on smoothing out that motion. He's a freshman, 6'5", 215 pounds, switchable two-way defender. Those guys don't grow on trees, man. He averages 17.7 points per game, 5.7 rebounds per game, 1.3 assists, and 2 steals. It's one of those things where you got to look past some of this stuff early with these young players. Oh, Matt's back again. All right. So this is an abject failure, and I am frustrated beyond words. I cannot express to you how frustrated I am. I ran down Tonde Yesufu's stats, his averages per game. I was just about to get into his usage rate, true shooting percentage, all that sort of stuff. But where did you want to leave off? Because I'm about to wrap the show. I'm gonna like break my monitor or something. Like I'm.
No, I don't know. I'm not very high on his on-ball ability right now. It can improve, just like it did for VJ last year, and he's still like, getting points, which is a very encouraging sign. It's just not super efficiently.
Right.
But defensively and the rebounding is what I've liked a lot. But his on-ball ability, like if I'm projecting that on an NBA scale, I just don't love it right now.
You're very true. Very true. Right now, it's rough. It's a rough watch. But again, that's a young player, I think, that has to figure it out. You know, he's used to being the main guy.
Sure.
And he's really not the main guy with Cam Carr there. But it is something to monitor. I'm interested in to see how he can grow. What would really be worrisome is if he doesn't grow from this. If he's the same by the end of the tournament. I would really
and I
like
don't
to
think
see
that'll
how
be
he
the
grows.
case.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I don't think so either. And he plays with an incredible motor also. Like the guy hustles his butt off, man. Just doesn't quit. Like I believe he's had like 7 rebounds twice already this season. Against St. John's, he had 9. Like that's just want to, man. He just goes and gets it.
Right.
And he's had 3 or 4 steals 4 different times this season.
Right.
So I do really like his defense. I'm really high on him. I just don't want people to overthink it. And then he's one of these guys that falls outside of like the top 10. And they're like, oh, he's falling on the draft board.
Well, it just depends on who is one who's drafting and other guys that creep into that range. Because I do think that's where he's at right now, is that 10-ish range.
Yeah, but I'm still not taking like Yaxel Lindenborg over Tonde Yesufu.
Oh, I probably wouldn't either. I don't have Yaxel that high. Even though Yaxel, I think, give him credit, he's been awesome. And Michigan.
Oh, yes.
Michigan has been far and away the best team in the country, not even close.
Yeah, he's been awesome, but he's also going to be like 24 when the draft comes around. So, I mean, yeah, I get it. I get it. And then, like, you know, like Thomas Haug, Haney Steinbeck. I mean, LeBaron Philon, I have him very high. He has been. He has been. And again, he's one of these guys, though, that played pro prior to coming to college. He's not 25 or anything, but, you know, he's going to be 20 years old, so he's still super young. But he's got that professional experience. You know, he's been around playing against professionals. He's been outstanding, but maybe it's going to be a tough conversation for some of these guys because of how deep this class is and how good they are.
Yeah, like, would you here's my question for you.
Okay,
because this is where I'm at with Tonde. Would you take Tonde or Cam Carr right now as your best Baylor prospect? I'm taking Cam Carr.
It's Cam Carr. It's Cam Carr. It's not really even a question.
No,
it's not really even a question because Cam Carr is not old either.
Well, he's a junior and he's going to be what 21, 22 on
draft
night?
That's still not old. Like, still not old.
Well, he's older. He's not like old, but he's not like young.
He's not super
in between.
He's not Cooper Flagg, like 18 years old on draft night. Like, you know.
But he's not Lindenborg. He's
exactly
in the middle of that scale.
Exactly. You know what's really weird? Tankathon doesn't have Cam Carr even in their database. How's that even possible?
Do they not?
No, he's not even in. Like, if you go to compare prospects, he's not even in the list.
Oh, I was going to say, like, he's on there. Mock draft and big board.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know why I couldn't find him. But yeah, I mean, he's going to be what, 20, 21 and a half years old. That's still not super old. Like, it's 1 year older than Steinbeck. Not that old. What have you watched any? Oh, so you did watch the UConn game. What do you think of Braylon Mullins?
I haven't watched UConn yet, no.
Okay.
But he's a very, like, from what I know, he's a very, like, raw prospect and have a ton of great competition out of high school. And so for him, it's an adjustment period. And a lot of what's going on right now is projections, but I have yet to get my eyes on him.
Yeah, I've watched him, and I know it's a lot of projection, but I was like, there's no way this guy is a top 10 pick. Like, what are we talking about? Like,
yeah, I wouldn't have him.
Like, what's this? I mean, I haven't
watched him, but like there are 10 guys I like more than.
There's so many guys, but there's so many guys even outside the top 10 where I'm like, would I rather, like, let me put it to you this way. Would you rather have Thomas Haug or Braylon Mullins. Would you rather have
Again,
Steinbeck, Braylon Mullins? Like, there's Phylon. There's so many different people, man. Because you still got to, because my board, I still have like Acuff up there with the top point guards. And I got Nate Ament falling. Like, I got Nate Ament outside the top 10 at this point.
Oh, wow.
He hasn't been good, man. There's a lot of concerning things that I've got from Nate Ament. Like, his athletic profile is really starting to worry me. Like, a lot. Like, he's not athletic in the least bit. But anyway, that's a topic for another day, Matt. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we get out of here?
No.
All right. Let the people know where they can find you, follow you, and get more of your work.
You can find me at mph_824_ on Twitter. You can find me at hotoutHoops.com, VendettaSportsMedia.com, MountainWestConnection.com, as well as Orlando Magic on SI.
Absolutely. And I'm Digital Adel. You can find me on social media under that same moniker, Digital Adel. The podcast is Digital Adel Hoops, anywhere podcasts are found when I remember to upload it. And on SI now covering the Indiana Pacers, Orlando Magic, Miami Heat, Memphis Grizzlies, and Milwaukee Bucks for NBA draft content. Get your content on SI. All right, people, that's it for us today. We'll see you next time.